So everybody just called me the depressed girl that wanted attention. I felt like I didn't want to be alive. I felt very suicidal. I felt like I couldn't do suicide, and I would just always pray to God for him to take me out of this life. And I was upset with him because I felt like he was forcing me to live even though I didn't want to. My mom and I were like the closest people you could ever meet. There were times where she would like disappear and I never really knew why, but those times I really did miss her and I'm like, where is she? I always knew that it was like trying to search for, love in many ways, because growing up I realized that my mom always had many boyfriends that I never could trust, and I would always feel very uncomfortable. And she wouldn't really care about what I thought or what my comfort was, and I was so angry with her, and I felt like our connection was just tarnished. I started to realize I was becoming a part of the cycle when I wanted to find love in other people. And I started to date guys, and I started to try to find attention and love in other people, and it just would result in bad, abusive relationships, and I would just always feel more terrible in the end. And my grandma would look at me and she would say, oh, how many boyfriends have you had already? You're starting to become your mother, you're starting to become a slut, and all these different words, and I just felt so low. I felt like I can't have that happen. I don't want to be that person. And I started to hate the image my mother set for herself. I felt like she made it easy for me to cast a shadow like that. I started working at New City Kids, and it just became a light for me out of that dark tunnel. I started to realize that I was more than just a person in pain and more than a person that just needed somebody to feel better. I started to gain friends that were actual friends. I started to get a family from the adult staff, and I started realizing that I have issues and I needed to deal with them, and learning how life isn't always perfect, but if I try to look at it from a good point of view, it will always get better. My family never really believed that emotional problems are really a thing. So having a one-on-one person that was concerned about how I felt emotionally was great, and I really felt heard, and I felt like someone actually cared for the first time. I was able to deal with my problems with God. I was able to give all of my problems away to God and just start anew. When I started working at the After School Center, it was very different from the summer. I would help the kids, I would do the extra credit that Mika gave us, and that was about it. But then I realized that my kids didn't really like the extra credit we had. I created better extra credit, and when I did that, my table really started having a lot of fun. And when I saw all the happiness they had, I didn't see that in other tables. And I felt really bad because I'm just like, why does my table have to be so energetic and everybody's is just, nah. I wanted to help them out, so I started sharing the extra credit I created with other tutors. So starting extra credit and being able to create extra credit started leading to other tutors coming to me asking for help and how to make their table even more better. And one of those tutors happened to be Natasha, and me and her gained a good friendship because we would just help each other in general. If I had something that she didn't understand, she helped me understand how to understand other people and how to better word myself so that way everyone benefits off of what I say. One of the special kids that I've come to love is definitely Shy Jir. He was literally like a little me all the time. And I would help him with his homework, and if for a moment I didn't turn my head, he's like tugging, like, Ashley, I need help, just because he wanted my attention. And I knew what it was like to always want attention, but he was just great. And he would always call me mom. We established a connection, and I really did feel like helping him become happy made me happy because I was able to somehow fix something in me by giving it to someone else. The legacy I want to leave in New City Kids is that it is always okay to be a leader and to never be afraid to step up to the plate. Don't feel like maybe you're overdoing it. Don't feel like maybe you're not good enough, because if you feel like you can change something in anything, you should do it. And I believe that you should be confident in everything that you do and realize that even if you make a mistake, you can fix it and you can keep pushing forward, and to never believe that you can't be a leader, because everyone has the attributes to being a leader.